Alright there guys, and welcome back to another episode of Real Talk. This episode of Real Talk is plainly just going to be about school. So, and maybe a bit of college, but mostly school. It's like issues with school these days. As you of course know, back in June of 2017 was the year of school that I actually left. Alright? I failed all of my exams, literally every single exam I failed. There's a shock. Anyway. Right, let's talk about teachers first. Teachers are the ones you've got. The teachers that aren't fun, but they make, make sure you get the work done. Then there are teachers that make sure you get the work done, but are actually half decent to talk to. Hell, my maths teacher was definitely the funniest person. That's the funniest teacher that my school had. But then we've got my science teacher who, in years 7 and 8, science was sick. But in years 9, 10 and 11, science was one of the worst things ever. Legit, because in years 9, 10 and 11, well in year 9, we had a teacher who was too strict for his own good. Legit, you get people saying, say you write down the date in the title. So, but they ask you to, underline it with a ruler. So you get up, and you go to get a ruler, and it's like, and then he says, "Did I ask you to get a ruler?" It's like, you legit just said underline with a ruler, you spaz. Sorry that I don't own a ruler. You prick. Even got to the point where some of my friends were taught by him as well, and freaking hell, Commander, I got a warning off him for saying hi. He told me, he said, "Hi sir," and he said, "That's a warning," and he's thinking, are you freaking serious? What did I do that was wrong? It's like, exactly. And in year 10 and 11, I had a science teacher. How he became a teacher, I will never ever know, because he does not know how to teach. Every freaking science lesson in years 10 and 11 he'd waste 10 minutes of the lesson trying to get up a PowerPoint slide that he didn't do anything on. It's either one of the other science teachers did it, or he just found it off the internet. Rarely did he ever make his own PowerPoints. And during those 10 minutes, he actually complains to you if you're talking to someone else. It's like, why are you talking? It's like, well, we can't learn anything because you're pissing about for 10 minutes trying to get the PowerPoint slide up that you didn't even make. It's like, teachers always say don't copy and paste your work from the internet. So why is it okay for them to do it? Because that's what they do. Teachers just copy and paste work onto a PowerPoint slide, meaning they didn't actually do anything to make it. Right, let's get to a couple of different types of students. We have that student who basically all the teachers favour. Basically, they can do whatever they want. Basically, they're like the smart student, the one that's always getting the highest grade in their class. And, well, the teachers instantly favourite that person. So they can do something wrong, and they won't get done for it. Like, schools, they manage to be so biased. If a student is doing well, they are so biased towards that student. Legit, here's a good example. In drama, the most intelligent student in the entire school, well, in our year at least, was in my GCSE drama group. we were acting out a play, and the next thing she had to do was go back to the curtains at the back of the room to go get someone else to bring her in, as that was what happened. That was the next part of the script. So we finish our lines, and then we're just like this. We're just standing there, and she just sat on the chair, not even noticing. It's like, hello, could you get up, mate? And then she goes, whenever we're off stage, because when we don't have a part to play in that scene, she calls us unorganised because we're, say, quietly talking when someone else is on stage, like me. Look at your organisation. You don't even remember what you're doing. And it's so annoying because I think she passed drama and I didn't. I failed it, which pissed me off so much because I love acting. But it didn't work out. But oh, here's a I don't know if this has ever happened to you guys. I bet it hasn't. I can guarantee I bet this has never happened to you. Back in when we did drama GCSE in year 10, so the school calendar year of 2015-16, so 2 school years ago now. In April of 2016, there was this play that my entire drama group had to watch, which consisted of me, Retropocalypse, Kaylee Connor, and 4 others. Right? We went to the Victoria Theatre to go watch a play called Made in Dagenham. Retropocalypse fell off his scooter because he's an idiot. I didn't even know he had a scooter. Right? So I'm sat there watching the play thinking, I just can't be here. Why am I even here? Little did I know, I was missing the greatest Europa League game ever, when Liverpool made a fantastic comeback to beat Borussia Dortmund 4-3 in the quarter-finals of the Europa League. The greatest Europa League game that's been played in recent years, and I missed it for a shitty play. Then, so what we had to do is we had to write basically after our plays we have to write we have coursework where we have to write down, what we did, what techniques we used, and all that. But this one was a little different because we weren't writing about what we were doing. We were writing about what the actors on stage were doing, and we had to write 2,000 words for this. Legit, the play all I could do was about, I don't know, like 1,200 words. That's all I could come up with. So our drama teacher actually did mine, Retropocalypse, and Kaylee Connor's coursework. She legit did it for us. Our drama teacher did our coursework for us. Did she do it for the other 4 people? No, she didn't do it. She didn't do it for them. And they passed. We failed. And we failed our coursework. They passed their coursework. So that's literally an example of a teacher basically sabotaging our work to make sure we fail. And that's really, really annoying. Alright, now I know I mentioned this slightly in my last video, which was nearly half an hour long. If you haven't watched it, go check out the 6th episode of Real Talk. I actually did it on my birthday, funnily enough. Now, let's talk about relationships in schools. You look at relationships in schools and you think, my god, you just cringe, mate. You're just cringe and you know it. You look at all these couples in schools, you look at some that you knew that were a couple in school but now aren't, And then you look at people who were a couple in school and still are now. You're thinking, yeah, I got none of that, so why do I have to care? Is it people like my group of friends in school? Me, Retro Apocalypse, Commander U, Ghost Ninja 853, and I'll just go with, you guys know who it is, and Rowan. So yeah, me, Che, David, Connor, and Rowan. We were part of the most hated group in our year in school. We were the most hated. Us five, and one of my other friends, Dean. Us six, we were the six most hated people in that group in that year. People just didn't like us for some odd reason. It's so annoying. The only thing is Connor didn't become part of the most hated group until he started until when he became friends with us he did. But it just shows some students choose to just be haters for no reason. So, oh, you're in a higher set, so you can give us hate. Mate, shut up, alright? Most of you are insecure. Most of you people are just insecure anyway. Oh, and here's another one. The set system in schools. You have top set, middle set, and bottom set, right? And in year 7, determining what's your SAT results from year 6 determine where in year 7 what set you're in, whether it's top, bottom, middle. Obviously, I was in bottom set for everything when I started, but of course, yeah, I got up to middle set in English by the first year, and year 7 I got up to the middle set. So year 8, years 8 through 11, I was in second set, and I still failed. Maths was a bit different because until year 10, until year 7, so it's year 7, 8, and 9, I was moving between bottom and middle set constantly. Some of my friends were either in bottom set or middle set. But literally, I just kept moving up and down, up and down. It's like, you do realise you're not helping with my education. And also, when it gets close to exam periods and your teachers say, you're no dumber than the students in top set, but you're no smarter than the ones in bottom set. Well, if that's the case, then why are there people in top set and people in bottom set? If you're not more intelligent or less intelligent than others, why does the set system exist? Basically, if you're getting moved down a set, that's basically the teachers, without saying the words, you're too dumb for this set. Without teachers saying that, that's basically what they're doing. They're basically telling you you're too dumb to be in their set, so they're moving you down a set. Oh, and here's a good topic that I know everyone who's been to school will find. Right. Say you've done some homework for one lesson, but forgot to do some for another. So you give in the homework to the lesson you have done, but then when you don't have the homework for the lesson, say you've got maths and history homework. You've done the maths homework, but you forgot to do the history homework. So when it comes to history and you're asked for your homework and you say you don't have it, they say why. Your teacher will say, why don't you have it? And say, because I was doing my maths homework. It's like, why does every single teacher make it out that their piece of homework is more important than all of the others? Surely it's not just me that notices that. surely all of you guys must know, is that pretty much all teachers do this. They say their homework is more important than anyone else's. And also being late. Say when you're like a minute, 30 seconds to a minute late to a lesson. It's like, and they say, it's like, and they're like, why are you late? It's like, I'm 30 seconds to a minute late. You've not done any work yet, mate. So shut up, right? You haven't done any, I've not missed any work. And even, all I've missed is probably the date, if even that. Of course, in terms of arriving to school, of course, the best thing about, if you got the normal bus, like regular buses to school, and you were late, you'd actually get done for it. But if you took the designated school buses and you were late, they'd know it was because they'd know why. So really, if you got a designated school bus, you basically get a free win whenever you're late, because the bus, you'll just be like, the bus never turned up. That ain't our fault. You supply these. You're the ones that supply the buses. It's your fault. And hell, I still see these, but me and Retropocalypse still see these buses occasionally when we're walking home from college. We actually see the buses we actually see these buses that we used to get. There's no people on them, but we still see them. Oh, and I'll tell you, college, the work we do is so annoying, right? Luckily I've got an example from today. Alright, so our teacher that normally teaches us ICT and business wasn't at college. He didn't tell us where he'd be, but he wasn't at that college. So he sent us an email on our college emails of work that needed completing. There were 3 things to do. I did 2 of them, but I did not do the 3rd one. The reason I didn't do the 3rd one is I clicked on I opened up the attachment, looked at the sheet, and we had been given no context for what this work was. So on Monday, it's likely he's gonna have a go at me for saying, being like, why haven't you done this work? It's like, because I didn't have a clue. It's like, I didn't have a clue what to do. And it's like, that's not an excuse. Well, it is. Well, no, it's not correct. It isn't an excuse. It's a reason. There's a difference. It's a valid reason. You didn't give us any context for what this work was. Didn't tell us anything about this work. Just expected us to do it, without knowing what to do. Oh, here's a good one. Alright, this will be the last thing I talk about. When you've not done some work, but you actually have a valid reason of why you've not done some work. Maybe your email didn't. Maybe your college email didn't work. Maybe the school. Maybe your Wi-Fi had gone down. You were going to do it at home, and your Wi-Fi went off, which means you couldn't access it. Or it's on a USB stick or a hard drive that you forgot. Even though those are actually valid reasons, our teacher for ICT and business says it's down to us being lazy. He just thinks we can't be bothered. It's like, really? We have a valid excuse. Sorry, reason. A valid reason of why we didn't do it. No, it's not down to laziness. Stop you trying. And sometimes, on some work he's marked that we have to do some amendments to correct it, some of the things he marks wrong aren't even wrong. It's actually correct the first time you did it. So then when you check, so say you don't amend it, say there's something that's been marked wrong, but you know for a fact that it's right. So then the next piece of work you do, you don't change what he marked wrong that you think that you know is right. And if you don't, and if he says, you know, that it signs it off as being completed, it means he's just marking it wrong to be a dickhead. It means you were right. There was nothing wrong. The work wasn't wrong in the first place. You just marked it wrong for no reason. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's episode of this episode of Real Talk. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you are new, follow me on all my social medias, and I'll be seeing you guys back on the main channel tomorrow. Goodbye.